an executive order establishing the National Energy Dominance Council. So
the National Energy Dominance Council. You know, nothing really, helps gloss over the setting up of like boring political committees and gabfests and people sitting around than giving it a big macho fucking name like the National Energy Dominance Council, the ED Council. That's right. The National Erectile Dysfunction Council, which, by the way, that dude could be the spokesman for. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe he's turtling right now. We don't know.
That will be chaired by the Secretary of the Interior, Mr. Burgum, and the Vice Chair,
good.
Chris Wright. And so this will reduce costs with respect to energy.
Oh, will it? You already know? It's going to reduce the cost, guys.
Establish American independence.
I mean, I don't even know why you have to sign it. It's already working.
With energy, and also unleash energy dominance.
Good, thank you. And this is a big deal. We have more energy than any other country, and now we're unleashing it, to put it nicely.
I'm sorry, is there a filthy way of putting it?
And I'd like to ask...
Also, by the way, this looks like he's wearing a tiny little dum-dum crown. This is a great shot. Whatever this spittoon is on the top of his head, it's fairly hilarious. I mean, it does. I'm wearing my thinking crown. It's a crown.
Doug, you're going to be heading it up. You and Chris, would you say a few words about it, please?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Because I don't have any idea what this is.
Good afternoon. President Trump wisely understood that under the Biden administration,
In his grace and in his ever-flowing and abiding wisdom,
there was a war against American energy, and today that war officially has ended.
Boom, done. Well, that was easy. I'm going to go fill up my car for free.
President Trump on day one declared a national energy emergency.
Right, because he's trying to get around actually having to legislate anything by declaring everything a fucking emergency. Doesn't mean it is one. It doesn't mean it'll solve it. Again, if somebody has a dietary issue, declaring that they are having a cardiac emergency does not change their nutritional habits over time. So, cool. Call it whatever you want.
And this is a real emergency because under the Biden administration restricted the...
Oh, you mean the fact that we produce more oil under the Biden administration than we ever have?
Production of oil and gas. Production's still coming, but when you stop holding leases, when you take 625 million acres of land out of ocean land, out of production possibility.
Ocean land? Taking ocean land out of production? Ocean land. Cool. Is that a new oil slick related theme park off the coast of North Carolina?
An executive order, you're really restricting the balance sheet of America. But today, as President Trump said, this is unleashed. The National Energy Dominance Council will be...
I'm sorry, just the National ED Council. It's pretty sweet.
Made up, all the folks that are standing beside me here, other cabinet leaders and many more, represent President Trump's wise decision that we need a whole...
It's in his great wisdom, though, in his wiseness and his all-powerful wiseness. Apparently wise is the word you need to use. Smart obviously doesn't work. And you like wise because he's old? Is that what you're saying? Wizened?
...of government approach to unwind.
Or Donald is now known Gandalf the piss-colored.
The Biden administration had a whole of government approach that had the war against U.S. energy. Now we need to turn that around 180 degrees and unleash that potential. We've got to unleash it from the Gulf of America all the way up to Alaska. We have amazing resources in this country, and we have...
And who needs fresh water?
I'm beginning a return on them. Many of these are under public lands. The interior has 500 million acres of surface, 700 million acres of subsurface minerals, critical minerals, and offshore close to 2 billion acres. And that balance sheet is the biggest balance sheet in the world, and it's been completely underutilized. Everybody knows we have 36 trillion in debt.
Well, I would argue we use it a lot for like drinking water and fishing. Yeah. I mean, we do use it. We just don't use it for sludge.
As a country, but no one knows how many hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets we have, and President Trump is asking.
Well, you're assuming that we have them then. If nobody knows, then they also might not know that there's nothing in these places, right? I mean, don't let that stop you from leaking, toluene and benzene and fucking cyanide and mercury or whatever the shit you guys are digging up looking for oil.
To go get a return on that investment for the American people. And with
A return on investment. Wait a minute. Investment sounds like an expenditure. A return on that potential, I guess, would mean that you think there's oil down there, but the return on the investment means that you better strike oil everywhere you dig, motherfucker.
that, we're going to have prosperity at home with lower prices, and we're also going to have peace abroad, because the wars that we've been engaged in, or our allies have been fighting over the past few years, have been funded by the oil sales of our adversaries. So we have an opportunity, and we also are in
Sorry, you mean the Houthis and like Hamas fighting Israel? Like, again, all of these actions by the Houthis and by Hamas probably, I mean, you could, I don't know, all in less than $300 million.
an AI arms race with China. The only way we win that is with more electricity. And we also have an energy emergency in terms of electricity. Too much intermittent, unreliable, not enough base load. We've been shutting down the base
But enough about Texas.
load that we have. President Trump is going to reverse that, and it's going to allow us to win the AI arms race, which is the most important thing.
So I guess this is the one and only meeting of the Energy Dominance Council. I guess this is. I mean, what else do you need to do? Apparently, you've already. What are you counseling about? This just seems like a predetermined outcome. Do you guys get paid for being on this council? Is there like an extra stipend?
Thing that we have to do relative to our future. So with that, I want to say again, thank you to President Trump, and I want to thank my fellow members of the Energy Council here. I'm going to kick it over to the Vice Chair, Chris Wright, who's the Secretary of the Department of Energy.
Thank you, Secretary Burgum. Today is truly a great day for our country today.
Yeah. Oh, today is it? Is today a great day for our country today? I was so happy to hear that. I don't know if that's the case, but I've heard that today is a great day for our country today.
Thank you, Secretary Burgum. Today is truly a great day for our country today.
Yeah. I mean, you can't you can't argue with that. Tonight I'm going to rock you tonight,
Secretary Burgum laid out so many of the problems the last 4 years. If you put barriers in front of energy, you make it more expensive, you make it less reliable, you make it harder to do business here, and harder for our consumers to pay their bills. With this fantastic action from our president, we now have authority across the government to lean in to fix these problems.
I'm sorry, the council has real power as opposed to being direct, like Secretary of the Interior and Energy Secretary. You got real power because what? You Wonder Twin powers activate?
And I'll start out with one specific right away. This morning,
Excellent.
I signed our first LNG export license, unpausing the pause.
Today or today? Just today. Also, I guess you did this before this council began, so that's exactly my point. What the fuck is this?
Action. The Commonwealth LNG.
Sorry, this is a good question. Like maybe you guys know. So is there a rule against like secretaries of different departments meeting regularly when their duties maybe overlap? So much so that you have to create a farcical erectile dysfunction council for them, so they can book a conference room on Wednesdays. They can't officially do it unless they get a pass.
LNG project that'll be on the Gulf Coast in Louisiana is now officially ready to go. This will be a large construction project for American workers. It'll draw demand for more American energy production that'll be shipped overseas to our allies.
Well, I think it will. I think if you're opening up an LNG terminal or a well, you're increasing supply. Demand remains to be seen, I suppose. I mean, I guess you're counting that you can sell it and use it someplace. Why? What about America first? Why wouldn't you zero out the cost of American natural gas so that Americans pay, I don't know, pennies on the dollar, right? Since you got a bunch of it. How about, I mean, is there some sort of America first dibs idea about this? No, you're just helping big companies sell more LNG that they're taking off the coast of fucking Louisiana and sell it to Europe. And
Many more of those to come. We're also working aggressively to roll back standards that have made appliances more expensive for Americans, and dishwashers
oh, you mean the ones that keep them from exploding? Sure.
that take 2 hours long and don't get your dishes clean.
I have, again, what the fuck are you talking about? This is him just sucking up to Trump. This is Trump's big fucking thing. Like, I don't know what the fuck, like, maybe here, I don't want to tell you your business, but you do realize that in the door of most dishwashers, there's a little flap that pops back, especially when it's been done. And you take those little, like you take some detergent or one of those little pods and you put that in there and you close it before you start the dishwasher. It might help get the dishes clean. Maybe that's the problem. Not the amount of water, maybe it's the lack of detergent.
Nobody likes that. That's about standing in the way.
Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about except Trump.
And with this President Trump and our new National Energy Dominance Council, there's so...
Sorry, you guys just formed a National Energy Dominance Council, and you're talking about how much water is used in a dishwasher. For real. You're an idiot. How are you not embarrassed by this? I mean, I know they have to suck up to him, and this is something he's been bitching about. And so if you throw this in, he'll think, he's doing a good job. This is a big one.
So many things we can do to make American lives better, bring down costs, and grow opportunities. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to a fellow member of the council, our administrator of the EPA, Lee Zeldin.
Thank you, Secretary, and honored to be serving on the Energy Dominance Council at
Good Lord.
EPA. We're doing our part to power the great American comeback. And President Trump has made it clear that he wants EPA to be doing our job to ensure that we are unleashing energy dominance however we can help, that we are...
By what? Not guarding water and air?
Assisting in making America the AI capital of the world, that we are pursuing
Sorry, why would, well, I guess Environmental Protection Agency would, you're just going to stop protecting the environment from these, from, I guess, the coal plants he wants to attach to AI factories, what he calls them?
reform, that we are helping to bring back American auto jobs. This is the mandate of the American public. The Trump mandate, it was clear.
75 to 78, it's not a clear mandate at all. It's narrow in the House and pretty small in the Senate, so simmer the fuck down. If you watched a basketball game and the score was 78-75, you'd go, one three-pointer. You wouldn't go, Jesus, they got their ass handed to them.
And the guidance from President Trump to me when he asked me, thankfully, for the opportunity for us
He asked you for the opportunity? How very nice.
to be able to serve together in partnership to unleash energy dominance. This is a moment that we must meet. To that end, it is...
Yipes. Dude, enough with the refrigerator poetry. You said energy dominance. You said, Trump and whatever, and thank you to him. Just shut the fuck up.
important to note that the prior Biden-Harris EPA issued a waiver to California for tailpipe emissions. This was a rule that should have been submitted to Congress. We will submit it to Congress. Congress will have the opportunity through the Congressional Review Act to make that waiver go away. We will do everything in our part to help the American people to make life in America more affordable.
Oh, so fuck states' rights is what he's saying, by the way. I just want to be clear. So they're going to try and get a fuck states' rights amendment of this particular thing through the Congress.
The golden age of American success is upon us. If you're excited about the last 3 weeks, that was
No. Dude, he's not even excited about the last 3 weeks. He's still pissed he won.
just a taste of the main event, the entree to come, the next 4 years being the greatest term in the history of the American presidency. With that, I'd like to introduce Sean Duffy.
Thank you. So, first of all, thank you for the work on dishwashers. We use more water to
Are you running one right now?
wash our dishes before we put them in the trash.
That's right.
We're not saving water, we're using more water, so thank you for that. But I'm also joining the EPA. We've introduced
Okay, for real, what the fuck is that noise? What is happening in the background? Did they just roll in like a piece of shit dishwasher and plug it in?
our rules to start to look at the CAFE standards. So we're looking at how much it costs for end users when they put gas in their car. And the Biden era
Well said. Yeah. I mean, you're a man after Greg Kelly's heart. Right.
standards are costing billions of dollars in taxes and carbon credits, which drive up the cost of vehicles. And so we're going to
Bring back asthma and pollution.
remedy that, rectify it, and make sure we're bringing down the cost of a car, number one. Number two, if I could just mention, Mr. President, per your direction, we are
Also, the CAFE standards are necessary if you're going to sell those cars in Europe or if you're going to sell them anywhere else. They're allowed to keep those standards. They don't even fall under Trump's tariff bullshit. So they could still have those standards. And if we don't live up to them, you're not going to sell any of these cars anyway. So basically, you're just going to try and set your standards to match the highest standard anybody sets. And America doesn't even have the highest standards. It's just
going
stupid.
to move forward with a permitting process for the Texas Gulf Link deep water port, making sure we can move energy in and out of the country. So that was held up for 5 years. And it was stonewalled, bureaucrats got in the way. We're now going to move forward with that, making sure we have
Yeah, it'll be done in a week.
great oil infrastructure in the country.
Great, thanks. Great
And
job.
Howard Lutnick?
Yes.
So, the nanny state, you're feeling the end of the nanny state. From straws made of paper to regulation endlessly harming Americans and holding us back.
Yeah, nothing harms a child like a nanny that cares. Also, I got to tell you, these guys seem like they're all like team nanny for Trump.
It slows down our production and manufacturing, which we
How?
were talking about with the Prime Minister of India yesterday. You're hearing that about energy dominance. It's going to go away. We're going to care about Americans. The Trump administration and this president cares about Americans, and you're going to feel it change. You're going to feel the price of energy coming down.
Yeah, you're going to feel the infection in your lungs. You're going to feel the noxious chemicals on your skin and the burning sensation that goes with them. You're going to feel the toxicity in your water.
You're going to feel prices coming down. You're going to feel it.
I'm going to feel prices coming down? Sorry, what is this, an appeal to emotion? Look, it may not look like prices are coming down, and prices may not come down, but you're going to feel like they have. Jesus Christ. This is him trying to put out the fire that MAG is like, what the fuck is with eggs?
Explosion, the golden age of manufacturing of America has always been there. It's just been stifled by regulation, and that time is over.
Thank you very much, Howard. Please.
Mr. President, I just want to say that you've built such an incredible team, and Secretary.
You don't feel like you want to wait until they actually do something before you assert that? Maybe meet up in 6 months and go, wow, what a great team. Or you can just go, yeah, we just gave them the right to co-sign memos.
Secretary and Chairman Burgum, that he's been working on this his whole life. And so what I expect you to see, sir, is action
Really? That seems a little obsessive.
as early as next week that is going to shock people about how good it is for Americans. And so thank
Yeah, yeah, it may suck right now, but next week, holy shit, you guys are going to be happy.
Thank you for your leadership, sir.
Thank you very much, Governor. We are also working on a project that has been under wraps for 20 years. Everybody wanted it.
Oh boy, here we go. Everybody wanted it, so let me guess, Biden passed it last year or 2 years ago?
It's been held up by New York. It's
What? Oh shit, he's not going to put the... He's going to put the Statue of Liberty in a bikini, isn't he?
a pipeline that will bring down the energy prices in New York and in all of New England by 50, 60, 70%. It should have been done years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to guess they started to, and they looked at how cold it got, and they recognized that the chances of a LNG or an NG pipeline and it cracking open wouldn't necessarily, is not a good mix.
We'll be speaking to New York, and the New York is actually the biggest beneficiary because their energy costs are very high. This will reduce them very substantially. But all of the governors want this to happen.
All of them? Really? New Mexico's really fighting for this one, for a big northeastern pipeline that nobody asked for?
And I think it's going to happen. It's now going to happen. It's
All right, you think it is or it is? I guess it is. I just say it is. Fuck it.
something that's would
Let me guess, going to be very special.
rather not have to go eminent domain. We'll do that if we have to in New York, but hopefully.
Holy shit. Fuck you, you won't. You get an eminent domain. You just start seizing American land for a fucking LNG pipeline? Knock yourself out, buddy. Good luck in the courts for the... You want to slow this whole fucking process down? I don't know, run it off the fucking coast. What's wrong with you?
We won't have to do that. This again will bring
Why people are just going to go, take my farm. Fuck me, I don't care. It's for America.
down energy prices in New England.
Well, not America, obviously a consortium of natural gas companies that are mostly headquartered in Qatar. But
By numbers that nobody can even believe.
you're right, I don't believe them.
Probably 50, 60%, maybe even more than that.
Probably 100%, probably 110%. Probably they'll be, people will have so much natural gas just spewing all over their farms and into their windows and stuff that they'll be asking the government to come down and say, take away some of this natural gas. I've got too much of it.
A lot of them don't even pay energy because they have no energy. They use logs. They go out and they cut down a tree.
What? Who? Who does?
Nobody can even believe. Probably 50, 60%, maybe even more than that. A lot of them don't even pay energy because they have no energy. They use logs. They go out and they cut down a tree. It's really a terrible situation.
What? Yeah. Who are you talking about? Like the Unabomber followers? Like, what the fuck? People who live off the grid and don't want gas run to their house?
So we're going to get this done, and we can have it done once we start.
Oh, they're gonna have so much gas. Forget about it. Oh my God. Some of them don't even, they just drop, they don't even do this. They come in there and they drop a log.
Captain's log.
Construction, we're looking at anywhere from 9 to 12 months, if you can believe it. It's going to go very...
Yeah, nothing makes me, I think people feel safer than a quickly slapped together gas pipeline.
very rapidly. The other thing I'd like Doug to mention, the 635 million acres that Biden so viciously took out of
Oh, vicious.
our
He was like foaming at the mouth going, ah, as he signed it.
net worth. If you look at it from the standpoint of a company, you talk about net worth. They've destroyed our net worth. We're putting it back. It will be back as of this afternoon. And Doug, could you mention that? All of the millions and millions of acres that he just handed back to
Yes,
nobody.
the
Handed back to nobody.
executive order by President Biden that wiped out these trillions from our balance sheet.
alleged billions that you're not even sure are there. Also, by the way, food, water, I don't know, sailing, leisure boats, shipping beyond the. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of there being a shit ton of oil rigs off the coast of South Carolina and Florida and North Carolina, just fucking up the view all you want. At least they're not those awful windmills. I mean, if you look at a windmill, you're like, ugh. But if you look at an oil rig, it's just it looks so majestic, with the rusty railings and the weird machineries and the lubed up things and the dudes falling off into the ocean and being eaten by sharks. I mean, it's a wonder of nature, really.
President Trump signed an executive order instructing me as the Secretary of Interior to unban that ban, and that's been accomplished. And so those
until there's a lawsuit, then of course.
are back on the U.S. balance sheet.
Okay?
The 625 million acres of offshore that was banned from further lease sales.
Further anything.
And 625 million acres is
Right.
1/3 the size of the lower 48 that was taken off our balance sheet. It's back on there now. President Trump cares about the American people. He knows that these public lands belong to the public. They don't belong to Washington bureaucrats from the.
Yeah, but you're leasing them to oil companies, and I think if they belong to the people, I mean, maybe the people want the fish that comes out of those waters and not have to worry about whether they're toxic. Maybe they want to actually sail on those waters, or I don't know, just boat in those waters without worry, or they just want to fucking look out off the coast and not see a fucking oil rig. Maybe that.
Prior administration, and we're going to make sure that we get a return on investment for the American people.
He's saying that return on investment shit a lot. Well, first of all, we're not making the investment. We're just handing it over to somebody else. They're making the investment, and whether or not there's something there remains to be seen. This is business speak to make everybody like on the right feel like these assholes know what they're doing. They're basically it's like they have a little thesaurus of business phrases that they're tossing about.
The amount of money that he took off our balance sheet, if you look at a balance sheet, it was incalculable. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, and he did that.
Really? Nobody's ever seen anything like it? You should patent that phrase. You should trademark it. I would say that a
But I
lot.
guess in the last few days of the administration, he just wiped it out. 635 million acres, which if you sit down and look, it's like that's a major part of the ocean.
No, it isn't. No, compared to the ocean overall, it's pretty small, dummy.
And he just gave it away and took it away, and fortunately,
He gave it away and took it away and give it away, give it away, give it away, nah, give it away, give it away. Why can't you let me drill for oil in the ground?
it wasn't done with an act of Congress or anything, and we did it in a, I think, very abbreviated, very quick, and very legal procedure.
You think?
And it's now back on our balance sheet. It's back as part of our country. What they did was so horrible. It was just
What do you think he did? Gave it to Canada or Greenland?
a terrible thing to do. An unbelievable thing to do. Also, they mentioned dishwashers, and
They did. It's true. They did bring that up. I think they were kind of doing that as like a Valentine's Day gift to you.
sinks and showers and the whole thing.
No, I just said dishwashers. He blew off the whole sinks and showers thing.
We're going to get rid of those restrictions. You have many places where they have water. They have so much water they don't know what to do with it.
I think they know what to do with it. I think you either drink it, wash your car with it, take showers with it, or leave it alone. Fish in it.
But people buy a house, they turn on the sink and water barely comes out. They take a shower, water barely comes out. And it's an unnecessary restriction. And basically,
Oh, it's terrible, especially in states where there's a drought year round. Yeah, I agree.
I think that we're going to be going back to the Trump,
You think? Hold on, he's choking on his spit again.
and it's an unnecessary restriction. And basically, I think that we're going to be going back
I think.
to the Trump rule. We had it, and everybody was happy. And then these people came in and they restricted it again. So
Sorry, these are on the actual devices that are made. So it's not like they all changed their standards. What model year is this faucet? This is a 2021. No, I want the Trump years. That's the really good one. What the fuck are you talking about?
We're going back and we'll get it approved by Congress. In addition, we'll get
Yeah, you'll do that. It's basically, just go back to the thing that existed before, that didn't exist before, that you made up.
it approved by Congress. So for 4 years, it's good, but we're going to get it permanently taken care of. And again, very environmentally friendly. But we want to be able to, when somebody turns on a sink to wash their hands or presses the button for a dishwasher,
Yeah, that button.
and there's
The one button.
barely enough water there's no water.
There's no water. There is no water. You push the button and you hear a noise inside it. And there's no water. None of it's coming out on the floor. I don't know where it goes. You know, sometimes in the middle of the dishwasher running, some water comes out, like comes in the sink and then goes back down. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. And you push the button, and it makes all this noise. And then you open it up. There's no water in the thing. Couple of drips, and now everything's clean. I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
And you know what they do? They press the button 10 times.
They maybe they're turning it off. Maybe push it an odd number of times. 1, it's on. Push it twice, it might turn it off, cancel it. So if you hit it 3 times, it would be back on. 4 would turn it. 5 will turn it back on. You know what I mean? Maybe the 10th time is what's fucking them
They
up.
run it 10 times, so it ends up.
They don't run it 10 times. I mean, I don't know anybody who runs it like. And if it's twice, it's because you didn't run it for a week and everything's crusty, I suppose. But even still, maybe try some detergent.
Costing a lot more. So I know you're working on that, and
Yeah, he's totally working on it. He's got a fucking wrench. He's the new Maytag repairman. He's taking over for Gordon Jump.
where are we on that?
We're working closely with the Department of Energy.
We're on that thing you just mentioned. We're kicking ass.
With regards to rules that were enacted during the Biden administration inside of the EPA, we are overhauling the water sense standards that are there to update them for the American people, to bring down cost of living and combat inflation, and just pursue common.
What? Sorry. Why would something using more water to get the job done, if it can use less water to get the job done, why would that improve costs? Wouldn't that make costs go up? You'll just be like, your water bill will go up, right? How the
sense.
Good. Well, we have more oil and gas than anybody else in the world.
Yes, you do.
We're opening up Anwar again. As you know, we got something. Ronald Reagan couldn't do it. No president was able to do it. I got it. And the first week in office, the Biden administration terminated that. Anwar is the biggest site, probably bigger than Saudi Arabia. We don't know yet, but
Yeah, we don't know yet. But hey, what could be better than just going up there, sending some guys up there where the Valdez was, and just start drilling holes? See what the fuck happens. Maybe you'll get lucky and strike lava.
it's of that size or bigger.
Or smaller. Or a lot smaller.
And we hit gold, and I call
You struck gold.
it liquid gold, but we hit gold, and for whatever reason, they terminated.
You hit, wait a minute, no, there wasn't even any exploration up there yet, stupid. You didn't find fucking oil up there. What are you talking about?
It, and we were just ready to start utilizing it.
No, you weren't.
This could take care of all of Asia, energy-wise.
Oh, great. So America second after Asia. Gotcha.
Very close to Japan. In fact,
Because it's right there.
Japan wants to go and be our partner in doing the pipeline going right into the ships. So they expressed tremendous interest. So did Prime Minister Modi of India.
Mm-hmm.
And just in closing, both Prime Minister Modi and the Prime Minister of Japan, both very good people.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah. In closing, I'm glad you added that in there, because we were wondering if you thought they were decent human beings. I mean, you know decency. You were friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 decades.
He said we couldn't make a deal. We couldn't get any energy. I mean, you wonder what was going on with our country. They couldn't make a deal to get any energy from the Biden administration.
What do you? First of all, oil and gas is it's sold at market value. The United States doesn't control who oil and gas companies sell to in particular. They can stop it from some places for, for sanction reasons, like you can't, sell it to an enemy state or something like that. But they just wanted to get a break. In exchange for what? Building a tower with Biden's likeness on it?
They just couldn't do it. There was nobody to deal with. They didn't know how to go about it.
Really? They didn't have a phone book or?
And they're very happy that we're here, but we're going to really benefit
Because nobody would answer the phone? He was always on the phone with Ukraine or somebody.
our taxpayers, and we're going to benefit our country. So I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a very big bill. This is really going to be energy.
It's not a bill. It's not a bill, stupid. It's not an act. It's not a bill. It hasn't been passed through Congress. You're creating a commission. Simmer down. Presidents do this all the time. This is the kind of like political blather that most people, Jesus Christ, like all presidents create, like we're going to take a look at it. We're going to form a commission or put a group together to study the impacts of what we could do to make blah, blah, blah. Like that's what they always do. Why is this special?
Dominant. We're going to be energy dominant like nobody else. And
Well, I mean, technically dominant, that's what it kind of means.
this doesn't even discuss all of the electricity that we're going to be producing for
Really?
all of the AI plants. They need double the electricity at least that we have right now. So you take all of
No, they don't. Yeah, not anymore. That ship has sailed. What you mean is Elon Musk wants a bunch of energy for his little crypto farms. That's what that's for.
our electricity that we have all over the country just for AI to do it
Jesus Christ. Old news. Nope.
right and to win that war, which we're leading by a lot because of what we've done over the last few weeks. We're leading
Yeah, AI really took off in the last 3 weeks.
by actually a lot. But
Really? By a lot? What's the benchmark now? You know all about it. Tell us. What's the benchmark in AI that they've really, that where we've just leapt
you
ahead?
take all of it, we have to double our electricity needs just for the AI, and that doesn't include the other technologies.
Yeah, obviously, you're running all those speak and spells and Xboxes.
So it's a real honor to sign this bill. We're going to
It's not a bill. It's not a bill.
also work on cafe standards. Lee, you're going to be doing that and make that whole situation, bring that back into reality, and I think very quickly, having to do with cars. Thank you.
I see. Okay, so good. I was worried that cafe standards were about actual cafes. I was like whether or not you get a, pain au chocolat with a cafe au lait automatically, or what. I don't know what the standards are these days.